9:30. This is the Board of Commissioners for Richland County. I'm Darrell Banks, fellow commissioners. Tony Vero and Cliff Mears, Stacy Carl, our clerk, and Adam Gove, the county engineer, are all present. Online, we have Al Lawrence from the News Journal and Carl Hunnell from Source.
Before we get started, Al, I understand you had a loss in the family.
Al,
Sorry, fingers don't work. Yes, I did. There's Tuesday.
Our deepest condolences from Richland County. We are deeply sorry for your loss.
Yes, thank you. She led a good life. She was 97.
Well, she should be proud of her son. He writes a damn good article.
No, thank you.
Hey, Adam, you have several things you'd like to discuss with us.
Yes.
You start with the resolution for Orchard Park Road.
Okay. So it's that time of year again when we apply for Ohio Public Works applications, grant applications. And this first one, Orchard Park Road and other road improvements, is a road resurfacing project. It involves Orchard Park, Franklin Church, Augsburg, Fitchville, and Adariah West roads. Total project cost is $1.125 million. And this is to resurface those roads mentioned. We're asking for a 40% grant from OPWC, would be equal to $450,000. And then the other 60% would be covered by the local engineer funds, auto license and gas tax, motor vehicle registrations. That's basically, you're just authorizing myself to apply for the grant, and then authorizing yourselves to enter into any agreements that may be necessary if it's approved.
The likelihood is a competitive grant.
This is a competitive grant. We've always typically been successful in receiving 2 grants, usually in the $750 to $1 million range total for a year in the past. Very hopeful we get both of these grants.
If this would be go before the regional planning, and all the different entities will vote, rank different projects. And
I always vote for ghost projects last.
normally our county to the counties past there, and then it goes on to region 16,
District 16.
16, and they vote there. And
This is the first step then?
this is the first step in the process. And we've been very successful getting what you wanted.
Yes.
Actually, our county has done very well at those through the districts 16. And
Tom Beck was here. We got them all, didn't we?
more and more we ignore him.
Good.
their motion for this application.
So moved.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stacy.
Stacy doesn't let us.
Banks,
Yes.
Rivero,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears,
Oh, yes.
Now, Adam, what is your second project on that?
Second application I would like to make is the Lynn Road Bridge and other bridge replacements. There's a total of 5 bridge replacement projects in this application. They are Lynn Road, Lucas Perrysville, Ford, Anderson, and Falk Road. The total project cost for this application is the same $1.125 million. And again, asking for 40% grant from OPWC. And it's 60% covered by the same local funds as mentioned before.
I assume these are probably in pretty bad shape now.
Correct. Yeah.
Second.
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vero,
Yes.
Mears.
Other two Stacy just threw on there. We are getting ready to advertise for bids for our Mansfield Lucas Cook, Illinois Safety Improvement Project, which is a roundabout.
It's like engineer Christmas when they get to put in a roundabout. Look at his face. They usually don't smile. Look at him. You and Bianchi gotta get a roundabout competition.
So we're just asking for authorization to advertise for those bids.
I feel like I should vote no.
I make the motion that we go ahead with this project.
Of course you do. I'm not seconding it.
Oh, this is a tough one.
It's just to advertise.
I know.
Yeah, but that's how the door opens.
Go ahead. Yeah, right. You're opening the door there. I'll second it.
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vero,
A begrudging yes.
Commissioner Mears,
Reluctant, yes.
Ugh.
Yes.
We're gonna be covered in roundabouts.
Yeah, we got one in the county.
No, we have more.
No.
No, you're right. Just
Talking to Jim,
There's only one too many.
who had a lot to do with the one out on Bellwell Road.
I actually do hear
To
complaints.
check the accident reports before and after. It is a big.
if you drive in Columbus suburbs now, it's just an endless roundabout. It's drive 10 feet, roundabout, drive 10 feet, roundabout, drive 10 feet, roundabout.
Can't overdo it. Yes.
Have you fielded any complaints from truck drivers?
Well, that's city. It's a city roundabout where Straub is.
Yeah, so we don't have one in as far
Right.
as the county road system.
Right.
It's up there in Middle
They don't
Belleville.
complain, do you? Well, you don't hear about city complaints on roundabouts.
Not, I mean, I've heard complaints about the one on Middle Belleville that it is a little tight.
It is a little-
And we did take into account in this design for truck traffic being where it is on Illinois Avenue. We realize there's trucks that travel that. area. So this one's going to be a little bit bigger than the one that's over on Middle Belleville.
Well, now you tell me, I feel better now.
Okay.
Take back my
I
reluctance.
should have voted no then. A bigger roundabout.
bigger ones. Okay. What else you got there, Adam?
Just an issuance of two looks like these are just over dimensional permits, not overweight. And I did not see these before they came up.
their annual.
Telephone sync goes up, so.
Motion to approve.
And second,
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vero,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears.
Adam, you have an idea of when you can have a proposal?
Carl.
Oh.
Carl is raising his hand to ask a question.
Well, Carl, please.
Okay, just real quick before you guys get off of the roundabout, because I know it's a popular topic. As someone who
keep going
drives,
round and roundabout, right?
well, as someone who drives the Middle Belleville roundabout on a daily basis, I understand concerns. But Adam, when this first came up, or you first talked about this, and I think it was September 2019, you had an estimated proposed cost of about $1.7 million. How much has that gone up now?
It actually has not gone up.
Went down.
Oh,
Stacy, I don't know, did that
Yeah, I got it right here.
on the advertisement?
Estimated construction cost at $1,353,906.98.
Okay, well, that begs the question, it's the first construction costs I've heard actually going down. Has anything changed in the project to lower the cost that much?
supply and demand. No one wants to build them.
No, just other than that, the preliminary cost was, just an estimate based on the size of the project. Once they got into the final design and could have a better understanding of what their pavement limits would be and how much grading and all that kind of stuff would be needed, we were able to get that better estimate. So that's the construction estimate. There'll also be 150 or so thousand in construction inspection services. So that would be added onto that project cost. So we're pushing 1.5 million probably total construction and inspection services.
Okay, and when this came up, you had were talking, and I don't remember hearing about it since then, but you were trying to get a grant through ODOT to fund 90% of the work. But what's the status on that?
That was approved, so they are covering 90% of the construction costs through their safety funds, ODOT safety funds.
90.
90.
Let's say you get successful bids once you advertise this. Do you have what would be your prime dates to kind of start and finish this project?
So the contract will have a stipulation in it that the road can only be closed during the summer months while school's out. We are right near the what's that, Madison South Elementary School. So we are trying to limit the closure to that time. They could be out doing some preliminary work before that, but this is going to be a summer construction project.
When you say talk summer of 2022,
Correct.
so you're fairly confident that they'll be able to get it done before school would start up again in late August?
Yeah, it'll be really close. I believe we gave them 75 days for a total closure. So it'll be tight, but we hope that they can get done in time.
Okay. And when this project was proposed in 2019 and we did a story about it, there was a lot of public discussion, and obviously the commissioners have engaged in some discussion today. Is there much, what can you tell the public about roundabouts, and the is there a learning curve for people to figure out how to navigate these, or are there enough of them now that that's not a concern anymore?
Obviously, they become more popular over the years, especially in the bigger cities. Only having one in Richland County, I believe there's still a learning curve here. But in the end, I believe it's the safest option for that intersection. If you look at statistics from the Middle Belleville Straub Road intersection, you'll see they go from several injury accidents a year down to zero. And I don't know that they've had an injury accident since the roundabout was put in. I don't know that for sure, but the last time I heard, the 3 years after that was installed, they had yet to have an injury accident. So I think those kind of statistics speak for themselves when you look at the safety aspect of the roundabout.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Adam, we have an idea of when I'd sent you an email about our revenue loss and getting you caught up on roads. You have an idea when you'll be able to come up and present something?
I guess it depends on how detailed you're looking for. I have a list on my desk of about $2.5 million worth of road work that could be done. This OPWC grant obviously takes care of about 1.1 million of that, leaving another 1.5.
I guess what thoughts would be you take a look at what the revenue loss that you sent us, right? The projected or the actual revenue loss, and figure that into additional monies for road work. You don't need detailed per se, but just an idea of what additionally you can do with that money.
Okay. Obviously, there's plenty of work out there to do as far as resurfacing, strike,
No roundabouts. I'll vote no.
safety improvements.
Like
I said,
roundabout, safety improvement.
Yeah, he could be tricky though and take this and then moving into another revenue or a roundabout. So you have to watch.
No issues with contractors, given the current climate, difficulty finding workers. I mean,
there have been some issues, just knowing they have their workforce issues, the contractors, whether they have employees dealing with COVID, being off, material delays. We are experiencing a material delay in one of our projects that we were hoping to get done this fall, which I believe we'll have to now push off until the spring, bridge replacement on Plymouth Spring Mill Road. But there are, so we are seeing it, steel, reinforcing steel. Yeah, so that's pushed back the manufacturing of a box culvert that we were going to put in on Plymouth Spring Mill Road.
Where's that in Plymouth Spring Mill?
Just south of State Route 96, right near Holtz Road.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Al, did you have any questions? You're all set.
I didn't have any questions on the roundabout, but if he, Adam, if you could, there was some a little bit of garble on the audio when you were reading the list of bridges.
Okay.
If you could repeat that, please.
So there's 5 total bridges: Lynn Road, Lucas Perrysville Road, Forbes Road, Anderson Road, and Falk Road.
Okay, and what was that first one? Yeah, that's one that doesn't.
Okay, it's Lynn, Linn.
Oh, okay. All right. That was the only, Carl asked all the others that I had. So thank you, Carl.
Quick question. You're welcome, Al. And I'm sorry for your loss, brother. I didn't get a chance to say that earlier. But,
Thank you.
Adam, the grant for the bridges, what was the total project cost? I missed that. That kind of glitched on my end. The total project cost for the bridges.
1.125 million. Both applications are the same amount.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Adam, thanks for coming up.
Yep.
Talk to you soon.
Yep.
Okay, let's go to other. Certify the record of proceedings for October the 5th.
Stacy, I'm going to be grammar police a little bit. Ohio Health is actually one word, not two, but other than that, motion to approve. Cliff seconded.
And here, I'm sorry. Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vero,
Yes,
Can we approve the requisitions?
so moved.
Interesting to see it takes $1,000 to clean the morgue, but I'll second.
You seen the coolers?
Oh, no, I had an offer to.
It ain't that interesting once you've seen them.
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vero,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears,
Yes,
Okay. Can we approve the weekly transfers and appropriations?
Just noting, does the recorder's office know they will be depleting their general supplies and the zero? Okay,
she does.
motion to accept.
and I'll second.
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vero,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears,
Yes,
Okay, we are seeking approval of a resolution appointing interim representative to Region 19 regarding the opioid settlement. What this is the Attorney General has set up 19 different districts in the state of Ohio. And to govern this money that should be available from the opioid settlement, we are in with counties of Wayne, Ashland, Huron, Erie, Lorraine, and Medina. And they are organizing a COG. And a COG is a council of government. So council of government. So that council of government will be representing 6-7 counties that I mentioned with the state to distribute the money once it's received. Assuming that it comes down that way. And a gentleman, a council or a commissioner from Medina has volunteered to represent us on an interim basis until this COG is formed. And then once the COG is formed, that COG will decide who will represent us. But in the meantime, we need somebody to represent us.
Sure you don't want to go against them to see
I
who
am
could fill that?
absolutely positive.
we don't have a timing on the actual distribution of the funds.
It isn't gonna happen very soon.
Oh, no,
It's way out there. We are just the beginning.
I'm having departments ask to make sure we don't forget that they want their share.
Yeah. Among others.
Motion to accept the resolution.
And a second,
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Yes.
yes,
That's the employee contributions to the 2022 health rates. We want to increase it to the,
Great job by Stacy and Kelly on this. What we had discussed is trying to make employees even to the best of the ability, right? We're all employees with respect to healthcare, whether you're represented or non-represented. So this isn't, it's just about making things equitable. Many years ago, when insurance rates increased substantially, there were caps in labor agreements, whereas non-union employees paid more for health insurance and continue to do so today. So what we had discussed was catching up union employees reasonably to non-union employees. So Stacy and Kelly put in a lot of work to look at the various agencies as to where they were on the premium payments. Stacy, one question I had is we were going off the single in the family, right? You have single and then the family amounts. So I wonder,
but singles one rate, and then spouse, children, and family are all one other rate. All
Right.
three of those are yes.
right. So looking at what Stacy and Kelly had provided, if I'm correct, all the union and unions on the left are paying less than some other union members actually, and non-union members. So this isn't just union, non-union. They're actually paying less than other union members. It looks like 911 dispatchers can be brought up $5 per employee per month, which would still be less because it would go from 100 to 105 and it's 106. So they would still be less. Child support doesn't have a cap. They do have language that says it's a majority of the members, which Kelly reviewed and said, no, they could be increased accordingly. Clerk of court says $5 per employee per month cap. So they would still be less. Dayspring has no cap. Dog warden has a cap, maintenance has a cap, sheriff has a cap, wastewater has a cap, and then solid waste, union and non-union have no cap and they are paying less. So that's sort of the status of where we are. And I'm curious as to what your guys' thoughts are on that.
I think we need to make it as equitable to one as we can. And sounds like, so the most everybody you mentioned is less than what they are on your far right side there.
Even if they came up the max, they would still be less.
but not much.
Not much. They'd be close.
Well, for instance, a family, we pay $24,000 a year for them to have health insurance. To ask someone to pay $5 more a month, I don't have a problem with that.
So my thoughts were, even though there were some that didn't have the cap, just to kind of keep it fair and try not to do this all at once, hoping that our insurance rates will stay consistent. My thoughts are you just do the $5 across the board, even for those entities that don't have caps. So that would be child support, even though we could take them all the way up to be the same with Dayspring and same with solid waste union and non-union. My thoughts are to be fair and not to sting everyone at once. You just do the $5 increase on 911, child support clerk, Dayspring, dog warden, maintenance, sheriff, wastewater, and solid waste union and non-union.
So we're bringing it up, but we're not.
All the contracts that allow for the 5 plus an increase with receiving that increase of $5.
Yes,
And the $5 is the same for a single or family, right?
Correct.
and so that way you don't sting the non-cap groups either by saying, well, we're gonna take you all the way up.
Yeah. I
So
don't
let's
wanna-
do this, but let's be reasonable and treat people fair, but knowing they'll still be less than the majority of county employees. So they're still getting better.
I think that's. Here.
But, yeah,
So that's my motion.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vero,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears.
Yes. Okay, any questions from Carl or Al?
Not for me, thanks.
Well, hearing none.
I have two others.
Oh, are there others?
I gotta-
Hey,
Play the role of Maryland here.
all right. Well, I'll get my highlighter and we'll get started.
'Tis the season for holiday lights, gentlemen. I sent an email this morning to,
Humbug,
what's that?
humbug.
Yeah. Last year we received a quote. We were asked by private and public representatives to join in the holiday spirit. I don't say Christmas, I say holiday, right?
Mhm.
Even though I'm a Christian, we have other religions out there. But it is a time of celebration for all people and all religions. So the city and the private groups had asked we participate in the holiday tree lighting. We had received an initial quote for $20,000 for our courtyard. And, it looks nice. We thought it was a little much. So we scaled it back.
This the one with the stand-up trees,
Yeah.
that Trump Power?
Yes.
Okay.
I've been communicating with Mark Abrams. The city's going to do a hybrid. They're going to do less trees. They're going to still do some trees, but they're also going to do some additional decorations. And Mark Abrams sent me the additional decorations quote, and he's getting the tree quote soon. So I met with Chuck this morning and said, hey, I understand it'd probably be a little more work, but what are the opportunities? What if we just brought this in-house? We didn't have to pay this every year. And Chuck said, yeah, we can make them easily and it'd be a lot cheaper and we don't have a huge courtyard. Chuck's like the 5 or 6 we had last year, we could make in like a day. So Chuck didn't seem to think it'd be that much additional work. So Chuck's going to go back and take a look at some things. But my thoughts are we kind of coordinate with the city, but participate, but bring the money in-house so we don't have to pay every year.
Long-term
Yeah, and you,
advantage.
my understanding, what we did last year, we just rented them for that time and it would be that amount of money
Every year.
similar
And
every
if we
year.
expanded it, it'd be more costly.
And Chuck thinks it can be done in-house. I'm sure it can be.
He says they're pretty simple. Mark Abrams said, looking at them, they sort of wish they probably would have done them in-house as well. So the city may go to that as
We
well.
have room to store something like
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
They got a lot of.
yeah, we don't have a giant, the city has a bigger area than we do.
Oh, yeah.
We just have the courtyard out there, or the building yard out there. So it's not as difficult.
So is Chuck gonna put something together and bring it back?
Yeah, once we hear from Mark Abrams, we'll kind of coordinate our display with there. And now that we have trees that have grown and that look very nice, by the way, maybe we put a little something on our trees as well.
What fund does come out of?
Do it out of capital projects. It's not going to be very expensive. He says it's pretty simple. Some welding and some metal and throw some lights on there. Chuck didn't seem to think it'd be all that expensive.
Cheaper than renting them.
Yeah, it is.
History of vandalism with holiday lights downtown.
Not to my knowledge. Find out this year, but. So that's my one. And Daryl, I'm just checking back. Did you get an opinion from the prosecutor's office on whether or not we can utilize county money to assist in that plan,
Just on the plan.
the West End plan? If we can give monies for that.
At 70,000.
No, I did not.
That's just what I had on my checklist. That's all I have.
Okay, it's 10 o'clock and stand adjourned.
Exactly a half hour.